Okay, guys, real quick here because I don't have too long. I tend to get really long-winded on these things anyway, so be thankful for that I don't have very long. Um, Texas, Oklahoma tomorrow. Texas ranked number 11, Oklahoma ranked number 3. That's very, uh, just very proper. That's the way it should be right now. It's two very highly ranked teams. I would have liked if Texas could have made it to 10 so we could have a marquee top 10 matchup, but oh well, we'll take 11, especially starting the season unranked in most polls. So Texas, Oklahoma. What can you say? Everything that you can say about this rivalry has been said. Um, I already said before the year started, yeah, I didn't know how good Texas was going to be, and that I thought Oklahoma was the best team in the country, but I didn't think they were going to be able to win the championship. Why? Well, because it was going to be kind of like murderer's row this year in the Big 12. Oklahoma got to play Texas. They got to play Oklahoma State. They got to play Texas A&M. And I believe they play Baylor. Those are four very, very talented and teams that will be tough to beat. Texas A&M, not sure what's going on with them. Maybe they won't be that tough to beat. But coming into the year, I said, and Texas may be tough to beat. Well, I think Texas is sort of um, shown it to a few people, proven that they're a lot tougher than we thought they would be. A lot better team after Gilbert, was benched in favor of McCoy. We're obviously a much better team since that's happened. From end to end on the bench, I don't think we're as good as Oklahoma is. We're not as experienced, so there's really no way we'll be as good. But I think we can win this game for two reasons. Our defense, Manny Diaz does a great job of getting pressure on quarterbacks. We saw it last week against Jans. Jans is a very athletic, very fast quarterback. He bought himself a lot of time. If we can get half the pressure on Jones that we got on Jans last week, we'll make Jones' life really hard, really hectic back there against us. But the thing about Manny Diaz is that he doesn't do it by bringing cornerbacks and um, dropping linemen into coverage. That's what Will Muschamp likes to do. He ran zone blitzes all day. But what Manny Diaz does is he really switches it up. He likes to mix it up with the linemen and have them standing up and have the linebackers shifting and moving around. So you really don't know for sure what's happening. He doesn't really blitz the secondary a whole lot. He does on occasion, but not much, which makes it hard for the quarterback to read and throw when he's got tight man coverage behind it. Now, Oklahoma's got some experienced receivers against our very inexperienced secondary. Um, just lost my train. Two freshman safeties are starting for us. So, that's not a good sign for us. But they've held their own against teams much lesser than Oklahoma, given. But you know, it's all growing experience. We started two freshman safeties and a freshman corner the year that we beat Oklahoma in that crazy 45-35 game. Earl Thomas, Blake Gideon started that game along with Aaron Williams. So three freshman guys in the secondary that year, and we won the game. So, experience isn't everything. Offensively, I think we can be tough to stop against a very talented Oklahoma defense because um, we're just tough to stop offensively because we have so many assets. We have such versatility and so many formations that we can throw at you. We go with the wild horn. We don't know what's called the Wildcat. Same principle, but anyway, we go with the wild horn. We've got two quarterbacks, a number of different receivers, a tight end, DJ Grant, who's obviously shown himself very capable, I should say, throughout the season so far. And we have a lot of different running backs. Fozzie Whitaker, Malcolm Brown, of course. Malcolm Brown's the one we all know about. DJ Monroe, who's been there for a while. Of course, the big bruiser, Cody Johnson. So you've got a lot of different running backs we can throw at you from different formations, shotgun running ability, running just straight up downhill north and south from the I formation. We can do that too. We can pass out of those formations. We've shown a couple of different trick plays this year, passing the ball with the wide receivers, a few things like that. But mostly we have a Texas team this year who wants to win. They want to prove themselves. They want everyone to realize that, hey, this is Texas football. We're back. And what better chance to show that than against Oklahoma? It doesn't matter what year it is. This is going to be a great game. I'm nearly convinced. The last time this wasn't a great game was probably the year we won the championship with Vince Young. That was probably the last time this was not a great game. And perhaps the year after that uh, when we had Colt McCoy won 28-10, but still the score was not um, really indicative of what happened in that game. Um, but still, I think it's going to be a great game. As much as I've talked of Texas, I haven't said a whole lot about Oklahoma. They're really tough defensively. I think Landry Jones is the best quarterback in the nation. Uh, Andrew Luck might be able to compete with him, but there's really not a whole lot of other guys who I would put up there. Um, let's see, I'm really thinking about this here, or I think Andrew Luck can compete with him. I would also put the guy from Oklahoma. I'm sort of blanking out his name, Tannehill or something like that. Um, but Big 12, I think, is the toughest conference this year anyway. But Oklahoma is physical defensively. If we can run against Oklahoma, then we can run against anybody in the country. That's one thing I know. If we can get our running attack, which is accounted for 67% of our offense this year, working against Oklahoma, we'll be able to run on anybody. And if we can't run the ball with the running backs, we'll be able to do it with the quarterbacks. I think one way or another we'll be able to get some yards on the ground. I don't know if it'll be enough, and there might just be too much pressure on these two very young first-year quarterbacks. Really, McCoy's a sophomore, but his first year starting, only threw 6 passes last year. So there might be a little too much pressure on the running backs or on the quarterbacks at some point in this game, which may be where we lose this game. But we're a very young team, so if we can just play with Oklahoma, threaten them, have them scared a few times in this game, think they might lose, that's good for us because we've got 18 true freshmen who all play. We have 23 true freshmen, 18 of which play on a frequent basis. So, don't expect to win from these Longhorns, but I think they can pull it off. They're very, very gutty. So, hook 'em horns. I'm going to predict Oklahoma in a I'm going to say a 27-20 game. Somewhere along those lines. I don't think it'll get into the 30s, but who knows? This Texas team has surprised me a couple times this year. We'll see what happens. Hook 'em horns.